Okay, are we ready to start?
Yes.
Great. Well, I just looked at the last 3 videos. I look so pale. You can tell I'm a studio artist. I can't believe it. So here we are. This is the 4th room. One of my totally favorite rooms. And remember, here we just went through the house and we had the Goebel miniatures period. This room really defines, there's just a handful of pieces in here that are from the Goebel miniatures era. And I put the nativity pieces in here because I've got a group of nativity pieces on here. But this era really starts the point after I left Goebel. This is from like 1993 on through today. And let's take a look at this case. Come on up to it. This is a major transition case. You can see in this case, what I like to do is pull pieces that I really speak to me and that I feel are an area for me to explore artistically. And maybe I've started on something I thought, oh man, I'm going to set that aside and think about that more. So what I do with this case is I come in, I look at it every day, and you can see this transition from where I was doing in-scale miniatures, and we built a bookcase or a fireplace to put them on. But the major step that happened here is that when I began to do this dashing through the snow in this hunt piece, I was sitting in my studio one day and I said, you know, here I've been focusing on miniatures like porcelain, like I showed you in the living room. And I thought, you know, is it possible to make these little miniatures look like paintings, not look like porcelain, but make them look like paintings? Well, when you ask yourself a question like that, you are really opening yourself up to a whole new way of thinking. So when I did this piece, Dashing Through the Snow, it took me 3 months to do this piece, and the painting was grueling. And my wife and I, Eva, we'd go down to the Getty and we'd look at these paintings, and I was trying to understand how to layer them. So what you see here is the beginning of the idea of landscape. You can see also I went into backgrounds. This is a personal story. That's me as a miniature man underneath the strawberry plant. It's called The Tinker's Treasure, and you can go on and visit the website and take a closer look at these. In this also are some pieces called the mini art. These I did when I was under contract with Harmony Ball. And then also, this is again one of my favorite pieces. I just went down to the Bird Museum in town yesterday looking at all the feathers, and I had done this about 8 months ago, and this is of course at the Nature's Canvas, in the new Nature's Canvas line. And come on over here. This is a real important case. When I started to do landscapes, it really transferred into the storytime pieces. So here what you see in this room is personal work that's non-Disney, and then you see this major group of work that is Disney, and we've got Wizard of Oz in here. In here is also my first heirloom box. Come take a look at this. I did this as a commission for my university. I think this was around 1994. So here we are. This is 2008, and we just introduced heirloom boxes at the June shows this year, and I did my first what we would call an heirloom box, in 1994. So these ideas, they kind of cook around in my mind, and this has been sitting on my desk, and I love to use it. Of course, I took all the pieces out because I knew we were going to video today, but I throw my receipts in here when I get back. If we have a show down at the Disneyland, and I'll come back, throw my receipts in, and take them out at the first of the month. Also in here is a good portion of my library. These books are real near and dear to me. I've collected them from museums all over the world. You can see there's a whole Fabergé section. This is all porcelain. This is sculpture, Art Deco. This is jewelry and rings. Any kind of miniature art I'm just so keenly interested in. And one of the things I love to do is visit the museums of the world. This is a section over here on Disney. The Disney portion of my library goes on into our next phase of the house we're going to visit. But this is part of my Disney book collection. And then this is fine art and painting. And some of my very favorite painters are Charles Birchfield. So this is a real special room to me. And these pieces, here's the mini art piece. This is the first one I painted. It looks different than what we brought into the market. This one's empty, but I just love the styling of this piece and the way I painted it. So no, this is what I do, and if I like the pieces, I'll keep them in here and look at them and maybe revisit this later. So so this is section 5 of our visit to my home.